Record yet.
Little girl from White Pine?
I'm strictly from Boystown.
I'm kidding, man.
I can't get that far.
That was right in that zone where, you know, that's the worst place.
I'm not walking there.
Here's your redemption.
Hey, I got that pump.
You got upper forward.
Where's my phone? Must be in this pocket. Yeah, it is.